Joseph Downey with Esports News Network from the Pittsburgh Regional here with Joe Brown. Joe, how's the event going so far for you?
It's great. The venue's really nice. This is my first time I've ever been to Pittsburgh, and I'm really enjoying the city, enjoying the venue, enjoying everything.
Great. All right. And so Regulation D has been very, very standard so far. All the way through up to the World Championship, things stayed kind of the same. Do you see people sticking with that same thing that's been working, or do you see people trying to experiment towards the end of this regulation?
I think it's easier with Regulation D. One, it's a short format because it's only a couple months. There's only 2 events for us in North America. And there's other things on the horizon that will have more impact with more Pokemon and future regulations. So it's easier to stick with what you know and stick with what you know works consistently. And then within those common Pokemon, those common move choices and held items, that's where you vary. That's where you put safety goggles somewhere else. That's where you put change your terrestrialization on Fluttermane from Terra Fairy to Terra Water or Terra Grass. Like those little differences are really where the team building happens. So the Pokemon are all common, but the inner workings of each team is different.
Right. And have you seen anything at this event in particular that surprised you in comparison to other events?
So far, we're still early on, but I think the big thing for me was Riley Factura, who's won a bunch of regionals in VGC's history, decided to not run Protect on his Amoonguss and instead put Grass Knot, an even more powerful grass move, and his opponent had grassy terrain set up. So this Amoonguss was just taking KO after KO because every game his opponent was terrestrializing a Pokemon into a water type. So he one-hit KO a Terra Water Landorus. And that's really cool to see a more quote-unquote offensive Amoonguss set there actually being able to take knockouts instead of just sitting on the field and supporting.
Yeah, and then we saw, Chuppa running like the Heatran Fairy. What do you think between Heatran Fairy and Steel? What do you think's been working out the most? Because that is a crucial Pokemon to counter things like Fluttermane.
Yeah, well, for me, I understand this the Fairy and Steel set. I am a huge Terra Grass Heatran believer. With the Flash Fire ability, you're immune to fire attacks as a grass type. It's your biggest weakness. The only thing you really have to worry about is a Tornadus Bleak Windstorm, but Bleak Windstorm misses half the time anyway. I'm a big Terra Grass fan, but the Terra Fairy is really nice, especially if in the mirror your opponent's Heatran does not have Flash Cannon, then they essentially have no great options to hitting you. So that's one of the variances I'm talking about, that Heatran, very common Pokemon, is going to be on a lot of teams, but Terra Fairy, Terra Steel, Terra Grass, Terra Bug, we've even seen for the Heatran matchups, right? That's where the variance happens in VGC right now.
All right, great. Thank you very much for all of that, and good luck to you for the rest of this regional and everything.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.